What is an
Yeah, you're supposed to pass by today.
It's a pass by. Watch it. Put it.
What is an asteroid?
Wow!
It's a jump into the ocean somewhere.
Question.
Yeah.
Check up on the roof. It's a good job?
Yeah, man. Watch it. Blow that. Yo, come go upstairs. Come go upstairs.
One could go open the door. Oh my gosh! Oh, you see it? You're gone, Chris. Watch out! Oh,
No man, what is this? Video send it to me. You can't find me blast the camera up on my phone.
you gone?
You catch it?
Hey, me have video.
Look there.
Like seriously for true, you know?
No man, so I must have one next one. I must have one next. No man.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. Those videos have been circulating all over social media last night, and personal wonder and a ponder. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a starship? Is it a spacecraft? Is it alien invading Jamaica, invading the world? People were even thinking that the world was coming to an end. Well, people, I am going to let the professionals explain everything in details as to exactly what took place, and then I'll give my piece.
There were dramatic scenes across Caribbean countries, including Jamaica, last night after a SpaceX Starship rocket, which exploded less than 10 minutes after its launch from Texas, U.S., showered debris over the Caribbean and Western Atlantic. The explosion was caught on camera from a catamaran anchored off Hog Key in the Bahamas. One ex-user posted footage of what looked like a ball of smoke overhead in Boynton Beach, Florida, while others in Jamaica and Turks and Caicos captured fiery streaks of debris flying across the sky. SpaceX said it was in communication with the FAA over any needed flight diversions, but there were no immediate reports of issues during the moments after contact was lost with the Starship. Dozens of flights appear to have been diverted, and airports from Orlando south through West Palm Beach and Miami in Florida reported delays associated with the event.
So people, you heard what the professionals had to say. The world is not coming to an end. Aliens are not invading the earth. So you have time to put your life together. If you know you have not been living such a wholesome life, maybe this is the time to do so. Or then again, maybe not. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based off two videos that have been making their rounds on social media, where it is seen 3 officers on bike from the quick response team. They were responding to an emergency situation in the crossroad. When they crossed the intersection, however, they did not have the right of way. A taximan that was going about his business hit the officer off his bike, fling him across the street. In the video, you could clearly see his 2 other squaddies was trying to assist him. However, it seems as if the injuries that he got was too much. He was taken to the hospital. This is his picture of him in the hospital bed, and this is the officer's picture right here. He is Constable Delroy Hines. Condolences to the family. A lot of things can be learned from this video. The fact that you are in an emergency situation, it does not give you the right to run the stoplights. It means that persons are supposed to go about their merry business. You are supposed to conduct yourself as an officer safely, looking out for yourself and looking out for other motorists. Because you're an officer and because you're responding to an emergency situation does not give you the right, especially when you don't have any flashing light and you don't have any sorts of sirens. People don't have that kind of reflexes to be just stopping on a dime. And unfortunately, such is the case in this case. Condolences to his friends, family, and co-workers. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news based on the video at the start of this is of an incident that it is said to have taken place at Burke Road, that is in Spanish Town, where a man, a driver of a minibus, was taken out. He was run down and gunned down. People were saying that this is because of some sorts of conflict between CLANSMAN and one other. Yes, people, it is gang affiliated. However, based on information from the police, it is said that these men are from top banks. I wanted to take a look to what Hopton Nicholson has to say as it pertains to persons that are persons of interest or suspect in this case, and then I'll give my piece.
A man known as Danga Reds of 2B Oxford Road, more popularly known as Top Banks. A man known as Debo of Top Banks. And another man who has been referred to as Talis, who is said to be from a Clarendon address, but has recently been residing in the Top Banks area. Now, Talis is described as slim and his front teeth protrude. It is what we call buck teeth. These men are asked to report immediately to the Spanish Town CIB.
So people, you heard what the SSP had to say, Mr. Hopton Nicholson. I think that these youths, the names that he called, if they know what I know and based on recent history with these police, with these extortionists, with these done, especially from Spanish Town, the police and relevant authority are trying to do a total wipeout. So if them tell you come in, it is best that you come in with your lawyer in the presence of your preacher or pastor or JP. Don't let the police go for you, because whenever they go for you, it is not going to turn out too good for you. It is going to send you in the afterlife. So I say this to say that Mr. Buckteeth and him friend them from Top Banks, please turn yourself into the police before something wrong do you. Now what we see is that the turmoil in a Spanish Town is spilling over to other places. And while that incident took place off Burke Road in a Spanish Town, it is not isolated. Fast forward less than a day ago, last night to be exact, on Conway Avenue in a Patrick City, it is said that a taxi driver and two other cousins got caught up. Based on the information, it is said that the persons that got conned up, they are Raheem, Kirk, and Kimani. All of them cousins. Them run taxi, one of them have a stall. They were warned, the place or the intersection that they operate from, it is not safe. The police warned them before he left, he got transferred. However, it seems as if they did not take heed. It is said that these people are constantly being attacked by the extortionists from Spanish Town. And in this case, it seems as if those demands were not met, and three cousins, Raheem, Kirk, and Kimani, got caught up. Out of those two of them did not make it. The ones that did not make it is Raheem and Kirk. A sad situation in Jamaica that is playing out too often. Police need to put on them foot and put on these youths in the ground. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, we see that the JCF is on a wipeout campaign as it pertains to Spanish Town, trying to get rid of all of the dons, all of the extortionists, all of the criminal elements, gunmen, shutters, Rete, Lele, Blue, blah, bling. Well, it seems as if these gangsters are getting in their feelings and they do not realize that the police is executing their job. Executing literally. So it seems as if, like me say, some gangsters from the Spanish Town era, one other CLANSMAN, whomever, feel as if them big, bad and bold, and they're sending out threats to the officer in charge of that division. His name is Hopton Nicholson. So I want you to take a look to what Mr. Nicholson has to say, his response to all the threats that he has been getting, and then I'll give my piece.
So I can tell you that the police and the military will continue to conduct a number of operations in and around the Spanish Town area, and also to have a high visibility patrol. And we continue to solicit all the cooperation from the law-abiding citizens. Day and night we'll be out there ensuring persons are safe, and we are ensuring that we are pursuing those we know who are intent on breaking the law. But for now, I can tell you the police and soldiers, they are dominating the space. And the police officers, they are competent professional. They do not take the threat lightly, but they are continuing their professional policing activities. And the police officers, they are well trained, and we try our very best whenever we're going to execute our duties. We do so with the required training and with the required equipment. And we just want the very few persons who decide to make such utterances for them to understand that the full force of the law will be meted out to them. And whenever they are caught, they will be apprehended and be brought to justice.
Now, people, when we hear stuff like this, it seems as if these gangsters are confused. They don't understand that they stay on one side of the fence, lawlessness. And the police is there to say, stay on the side of lawfulness. There's always going to be a clash, but the person that is in the wrong is always a gunman, always a Don, always the murderer. So the police, if them feel as if you're getting in the way of lawful, law-abiding, tax-paying citizen of any nation or any sort of era, then they are supposed to do their job, get rid of you, all of the menaces to society. So Mr. Hopton Nichols is making them know that, listen, they are doing what they do, we do what we do. We are fully trained and ready to take on any sort of resistance. And we are going to send that resistance to the afterlife. So if you know what he knows, you turn over yourself, turn over your life, or you're going to be turned over in our casket. 6'6" modern R Dovecat. Plain and simple as that. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update as it pertains to dancehall artist Squash. We know that he has been under the police radar, Interpol, Broward Sheriff Office, the FBI. Everybody been watching him because they know that he is a gangster. They just gave him the rope to kind of hang himself, and that is exactly what he did. We know that he was recently arrested when he was caught in a vehicle in Miami with a sawed-off shotgun, a chip Glock. I also showed you evidence in the video before this one, in which his marriage to a U.S. citizen, 25-year-old lady, was deemed red flag as fraudulent. That means that some sorts of business, some sorts of shaky deal went down. So he was never going to be a resident in the United States. Even if he had filed for asylum, don't have any sorts of evidence to substantiate those claims. So the fact that his name was being called up, he was always on the watch list. His marriage is fraudulent. He then got caught with two very serious crimes in America. One of them is a sawed-off shotgun illegal anywhere in the 52 states. Our next big charge, the chip Glock. So we see him in the custody at Chrome, Miami, in the detention center. And people are wonder and a ponder, what is going to be the next move? Is he going to be sent back to Jamaica deportation style, expedited style, federal express deportation? Well, people, a couple of things can happen. The system can decide that, well, we're going to just send him back to Jamaica where he can meet with the relevant authorities there and discuss the charges that he have pending, the warrants that he have. Or we could set an example out of him. In this new regime of Trump, will they waste taxpayers' money to house this criminal, which he is? Or will they send the problem back from whence it came, being Jamaica? Well, people, here's the thing, based on my knowledge and based on conversations that I have with persons working with ICE, immigration, customs enforcement. Him being transferred From those two charges and gotten bail, some people say 2,500, some people say 3,000. Don't know the exact figure. Transferred to the detention center in Chrome. It does not mean that he is scot-free, and yes, while I told you, gave you evidence that there's an order of deportation. So the system have options. They can deport him, forget about their problem, or they can supersede it, meaning that that state case could be turned over to the feds because of the severity of the crime, because it is a sawed-off shotgun, because it is a chip Glock, because that person is illegal in the country. He could also be charged for fraudulent marriage, which is also a federal crime. So people, the system have the option. Will they exercise the option and make an example out of Squash? Will they coordinate their effort with the Jamaican government and say, listen, wanna deal with him, give him time, and then after him do him time, which is more than likely a couple of decades or at least a decade. And this would be based on the sawed-off shotgun, the chip Glock, and the fraudulent marriage. All of those could be federal crime. So will they set an example out of Squash? Because the reality is that Squash got many chances, exhausted all of those chances, but like the saying goes, every day the bucket goes to the well. One day the bottom will surely drop out. I think that this is the end of the road for Squash as it pertains to being a free man, whether it's America or whether Jamaica or both. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.